boop, boom, 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 boom. We're live, aren't we? We are live. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while since we had an NXT review show right here on the Unpopular Review Network. It is I, Bad Guy Jack, aka the Great Grand Slam Pooba, and I'm going to be joined with the fantastic, it's Bobby Bella. Okay, Wrestling Doll. I think you have more nicknames than I do. We're going to talk about NXT. It was Halloween Havoc. I don't know if this was like the fourth or fifth one. Matter of fact, let's just jump right into it. We're not going to do no intros. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to jump right into it, guys. Hello. It's been a while. It's been like, what, 2 weeks and whatnot? I don't know.
Roughly.
Roughly, whatnot. But we're back. We're here to talk some NXT. You see my co-host. She is you're the third Bella. You are Bobby Bella. Okay. It took a while for me to see what theme that was. Matter of fact, you know what I thought? I thought you was going for the Brie Bella theme for a minute. But
Listen, I wore this twice this weekend for wrestling shows, and I already had some people yesterday on Sunday do the which Bella twin are you? I'm like, really?
I mean, she giveaway is the hat, right? Like
the hat, the hair.
You actually said before we started the show, and I was like, "You're Nikki," and you were like, "Yeah, Brie never won." Now, Brie technically kind of did when she did the cosplay of Nikki when they used to cheat.
Yeah, to do the twin magic or to make fun of each other, but never for like regular ring gear. Brie went more 90s grunge by coming out with the flannel wrapped around her waist. Nikki went sporty.
You know, I never thought that she was doing grunge. Like, I didn't think that. I just thought, like, because she was more of the hippie of the two.
It was more 90s kind of thing. Think of it like Freaks and Geeks, if you will.
And the Dynamite went boom. Let me just share this on the Twitter so people can follow us on Twitter as well. We got the chat. The chat is on fire. It seemed like they missed us after a while. So we got let's go up real quick. We want to say thank you guys for joining us. It is 10 at night. And we appreciate you guys. We got George. He's always the first one in there. He says, "What's up, everyone? NXT Halloween Havoc Night 2 was pretty awesome tonight. It was a fun show." And George is like our third co-host. Thank you for clicking that. Geez, has it been that long that we haven't done a show? Because why does George look so fucking big on? Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be cussing here. Wolverine doesn't cuss.
I don't know. I guess something's a little different with the way it's set up now.
Yeah, do you see how big? I mean, like, it was never that big before. Like, I see you, George. We got the Creed brothers versus Angel Garza and Humberto Tables, Ladders, and Skiers. Oh, my. Was awesome. I thought that was a great way to open up the show. We got JL. JL, I miss you, man. I missed you so much because I know that you're always. First of all, this episode put me through the ring. I tell you, he's always so angry. Like he's like late 90s, early 2000 Eminem, and he was angry. We got let me talk to you. Braun smokes. Well, first off, it was actually a competitive match. He didn't smoke Mr. Stone because it's not 420, so he didn't do such thing without breaking a sweat. I did see sweat. Braun is a sweater and was trying to do some sledgehammer slams with a pair of steps. Stone got in the way, but no. We got
the Vaughns came back.
The fantastic Von Wagner returned. We got Jeffrey in the chat. Shout out to him. He said, Bobby Bro look good, Nikki. He says, look good, Nikki. That bum Frankenstein. Who's he calling a bum? Von Wagner's not a bum. That's very rude.
I think you might turn him from Wolverine into Wolverine Jericho because he might pull out his list again and write you on the very top.
I have something for JL. JL, you know what happens when you piss off the Wolverine? You know, right here, boom, right here. These are really sharp, actually, because I just cut myself, so I'm gonna have to get me a SpongeBob Band-Aid. But that bum Frankenstein got in the way, and so what else we got? Warman is back. What is going on? Warman, glad that you're here. I'm glad that you like that nickname. I feel like I named you that like a year ago, and you still go with it. Nikki was my favorite Bella. You know who's my favorite Bella? Actually, no, I was gonna make a joke, but yeah, Nikki was cool. Wesley, the greatest NXT North American champion, came out and attacked Dominic Mysterio, and it looked like that was. You know what? Shout out to Wesley because he returned. I saw someone on Twitter and I thought it was hilarious. They asked like, Wesley, glad that you're back, but where was you October, whenever, such and such date? Where were you? We're going to talk about a lot of things NXT. We just want to get into the chat real quick. I'm sorry, but I had to say it. That's JL. JL gonna vent. JL's in his feelings. It's great to see you guys. It's been a few Tuesdays, and it's great to see you guys. I swear the bootleg Bella enjoy seeing someone get assaulted. Deadpool smokes.
But people liked how I look, so I don't want to hear it from you. And listen, you're gonna see your Braun Breaker fight again next week, so you're gonna get him on TV. Would you rather him gotten hit on the head with the stairs and not be on TV for a few months?
You know what? I do want to sit here and say I didn't miss you that much, JL. The way you should say, do you see that comment right there? Deadpool smokes Wolverine. Do you not? Now, Deadpool has a fantastic healing factor, but it's Wolverine. So you're talking about? What do you mean? He's played by I almost said Ryan Reynolds. Is it? It is Ryan Reynolds. My character is played by Hugh Jackman. You hear that? Huge Jackman. How dare you, JL? You just want to make me mad because it's been some weeks. But let's talk about NXT. We wasn't able to talk about Halloween Havoc night 1. I just wanted to run through it real quick. I was actually out there live, and it was fantastic.
I did try to watch, but unfortunately, my sources where I normally would watch.
Yeah, and listen, next time I come out there. Next time I come out there, I told the executive consultant, shout out to him because he threw the red carpet out my way, and I told him I want a match out there. So I do want to throw out there, if I have a match, I want you to manage me. I don't want Breast Milk being the referee because I don't think he's a good ref. I think he's awful. And he has his laugh remind me of Roseanne if she smoked a lot. But night 1 was fantastic. I thought it was great. I cheered for Jacy Jane because I think she's a great friend. Do you think Jacy Jane's a great friend? Barbie Brie. I almost said Barbie Brie Bella. That's what you're gonna just call you Triple B, Barbie Brie Bella.
Well, she's being a better friend to Thea than she ever was to Gigi in the last couple weeks before those two disintegrated. But there's still that feeling in the back of my mind that something's gonna happen with the two of them. I don't know by who, but I still have that feeling.
I can't wait to talk about Andre Chase because I just think he's trying to sabotage her. I don't appreciate that. Jacy Jane deserves better. I think she deserves the world. And Andre Chase could step on and
deserve a singles match.
Who?
Jacy versus Chelsea Green in a singles match.
No, I just think Jacy Jane should be just given all the belts, and I think Andre Chase should step on a Lego. But let's open up with NXT Night 2. We see you guys in the chat, bro. We got I think that was Jeffrey. He says Barbara can pull off any look. How dare you, Jay? Yeah, how dare you, Jay? You're just not nice.
He's our new Elvis.
No, I think JL actually got some height on him. I think JL is over 5'2". So shout out to JL. There's a lot of JC can't be trusted. Oh my God, Jeffrey.
It's hard to trust someone who betrays someone that. I'm just saying.
Listen, I you know what? It's been a long time since we worked with each other. It's been 2 weeks, so you're going to be forgiven immediately. But all I'm just sitting here saying is I think JC is a great friend. I think she's made up for that one sin. That's probably the first sin she's ever did in her life. And honestly, maybe Gigi deserved it. Did anybody ever thought about that? No, because people don't think. I always think outside the box. I'm a genius, and I've also I've come. You guys don't want to know what my mindset is, but let's open up with the show. It was Creed against Los Lotharios. How do you say it? Because you say it better than me.
It's Los Lotharios, but now they're just going by Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. They're not even calling them Los Lotharios anymore.
I noticed that because I saw that online. And I thought that was interesting because I did see that, but I said, oh, maybe they just
that name was part of like the previous gimmick that they were doing, like focusing on like the girls and all that stuff. So now that they're getting rid of that, they're just going with their names, which I prefer.
I thought this was a really good opener. I thought this was the right way. Real quick, let's talk about the Creeds. The Creeds were on Monday Night Raw last night. They went against Alpha Academy. And for a lot of people who don't watch, because there's a lot of people who don't watch NXT, right? So for a lot of people, this was their first exposure to the Creeds, and they got high praise. And it looked like
they might get called up.
I'm thinking this is a a soft call up. Like a lot of times there's like right. No, absolutely. Dragon Lee was a kind of a soft call up because he was on Raw. He had that match with Dirty Dom, and then next thing you know, he was on SmackDown, and now he's not on NXT anymore. And honestly, I feel like there's nothing left for the Creeds to do on NXT. Maybe because I don't even think they need to win the NXT championships anymore. I don't think this is their last match. I think there's a few more matches they're going to do, but this looked like a soft call up with them. And it was really cool to hear a lot of people praise them. I've seen Mick Foley, he tweeted yesterday and he said, I want more Creeds. So shout out to them. And they had a really good match. This match already opened up crazy. The Creeds and Angel and I'm sorry, I'm blanking on Humberto. Thank you. They opened up. They started brawling. And the first 2 minutes of this match, I'm sorry, I'm in a giggling mood. I had a Corona before I started, but and I'm also really bubbly because I'm in a good mood because it's been a while since we did Tuesday show. But this match already opens with someone going through a freaking table, and I said, "Whoa, that is how you open up a show." The crowd wanted table, they gave him table.
They got like 3 or 4 tables.
Yeah, there was a few tables in this match, right? The Creeds take the lead in this match. They're just brutalizing Angel and Humberto. Then Humberto and them start to take advantage. And this was really good tag team wrestling. And something I'm really loving what WWE is doing is focusing on not so much NXT. NXT has been pretty solid with that tag team, just not so much the main roster. But it was nice seeing them do like tag team moves. There was this one spot where it looked like Angel, he had the gory bomb, and then Humberto did like a neck breaker or something through the table to one of the Creeds. It was some kind of move. It was a great combination move. It was so hard to keep up with this match because there was so much carnage on there, and it was a little bit of back and forth. But it was a part where eventually the Creeds take over. The spot where their finisher is like the Doomsday into the Brutus bomb. Matter of fact, real quick before I even get to the finish, Brutus, because everyone look at Julius, right? And Julius is great. A lot of people saying he could be main event potential. I can see why people are saying that, but I love Brutus because Brutus is he's a lovable dude. There was a spot that he did when he had the ladder around his neck and he did the spin, like the old Terry Funk stuff that Terry Funk used to do back in the day, or what I would say is SVR 2008. Because you used to have that. I don't think you could do that in the new latest 2K, but then I don't know because they changed the buttons. But the Creeds get the win and they have a lot of momentum going. They beat Alpha Academy last night, got a lot of praise, and then they beat Angel and Humberto and a really good match. Solid opening. I don't think they have a finish for their tag team move with the Brutus Doomsday. I'm just going to say the Brutus Doomsday. So, solid match, and we'll get into the chat. But Wrestling Doll, Barbie Bella, take the floor. What did you think about this match?
Well, this was definitely one of the top matches of the night for me, I will say. From seeing those two debut from night 1 of NXT 2.0 to seeing to where they are right now is an incredible shift. Definitely a couple breakout stars of 2023, I'm going to say. And that spot at the end, going to that Brutus bomb through 2 tables, was absolutely insane. AEW could never. And when they attempt to do some crazy shit, sometimes either they screw it up or it just flops, like that exploding barbed wire match with that shitty pyro at the end.
You mentioned AEW. I have an announcement. I hate Scooby-Doo. That's my announcement. I'm sorry. No, they do these announcements so much. Jeffrey, he shared something on Twitter, and I laughed because there's always an announcement. Tony Khan always have an announcement. And someone wrote, I don't understand. Like, he's supposed to promote a wrestler. You're supposed to promote stuff. I feel like he makes. I feel like
every 2 weeks.
Exactly. Tony Khan makes an announcement every 2 weeks.
He was just a lot of announcements. They always resort to doing the lights out for when they have a surprise person come in or someone returning.
I don't want to like crap on anything because like there's people.
Predictable. That's all it is.
All I'm saying is last week they said they had a surprise for Sting and they gave him Ric Flair, and
that surprised me.
That surprised you?
I wasn't expecting Ric Flair to come out.
When I saw Ric Flair, I just said, well, as long as Sting is happy, that was his gift. As long as he's happy. Like I remember one Christmas, right? I got a gift. You know what I got? I got dishwashing soap. Know what to do with it after that. And I was only 6. I used the stream to explain my pain, and so everyone knows why I am like how I am. So deal with it. Ivy Niles was out there, but I do want to also say real quick, Ivy Niles being brought up with the Creed brothers, smart move. I thought that was great because a lot of times they don't bring the whole group. Legado from Tasman being one, they Electra Lopez was like back. And also, too, if I go back a few years, Enzo and Cass was called up. And it was probably for the best for Carmella to just keep her down there for a little bit. I think that was probably for the best because look at her now. She's still around. And look at the career she had. I think it's pretty solid. So I thought it was really cool that they brought up Ivy. And I think someone in the chat mentioned Ivy. And I put this as a note. I was dressed as the Terminator because she is the Terminator. And I think she's going to be a great addition when they eventually have her in the women's division. I'm always a big fan of beefing up your divisions from your women, your tag team, your mid card. So I just think all together, I think it's a winning move. Let's move to the next segment. Last week, the host was
Shotzi and Scarlett.
There's a lot of ass in there, but thank you, partner. Yes, absolutely. They were the host last week and did a great job. They did a lot of costume change and stuff like that. But this week, it was Aladon and Alba Fire. They took over. It was great to see them because you know what I said for a while?
It's Halloween. How can you not have the unholy union?
How can you just not have them, period? Like, they called them up to the main roster. I'm sorry. I'm on fire tonight. I'm a little heated tonight.
They got called up to the main roster and what? They got jobbed out to Ronda and Shayna.
I hated that.
Taken away from them for no reason.
I hated that. I wasn't a fan of that.
Go down there. I'm still going to be upset about that now and forever.
I could tell that you're really upset because your hat kind of did a twitch on how angry you was.
I didn't knocked down a few times yesterday, so.
I didn't like that move, but it was great to see them. It's great to see them back. And it makes sense for them to be here for the Halloween special. I mean, today is Halloween. I hope that you guys got some candy. I actually had a thing I wanted to share because it was a thing I saw on Twitter. It was like one should go and they had candy and I forgot what it was. I think it was Milky Way Twix or something like that. And Kit Kat. If you get rid of Kit Kat, you're on my list.
You're a monster.
You are a monster. How dare you? Do you not like fun?
Apparently they don't.
If you get rid of
whoever picks to get rid of Kit Kat is a monster.
And should step on a Lego. That's going to be my new quote for the day. So let's hashtag step on a Lego.
Have you ever had matcha? Like green tea Kit Kats?
Oh, no, I have not. You know what I tried recently? What, you said it was green, right? No, I had a Kit Kat and it was orange on top of it. It was good. It was fantastic stuff.
It's a Japanese flavored Kit Kat. They sell them in an area by here in bags, like small ones. They're very delicious. If you
know what?
Eat one, you're going to wind up eating the entire bag.
You mean to tell me that's out there and the executive consultant did not show me that? No. Guess what happens when you don't introduce me to great, although y'all have some great tacos. I do want to sit here and say that. Tacos were fantastic. It was great. So I won't put them on the list. Not for now. We talked about Aladon and Alba Fire showing up. Let's talk about this. This match didn't even take place. I feel they didn't say for next week, but it looked like that's going to be on a following NXT. We have, check that out. I had never heard of this. And we got in the chat, Aladon and Alba Fire looked good tonight, talking about George. We got George also. I love Kit Kat. What's wrong with people? Kit Kat Snickers are my favorite, mostly Snickers for me. I have a Snickers. Some people gave me a Snickers. I'm just hoping it's not an edible. That's why I didn't eat it, because this show would have been totally off the rails and you guys would have never forgave me for it. Tomorrow, I'm going to get some candy And JL says Mars over. Is he picking Mars over Kit Kat? I was bad at math.
Mars bars over Kit Kat.
JL, you, how dare you? Everyone laugh at JL because he doesn't know what he's talking about. Everyone, LOL, LOL on that. LOL. That's a nice one, Rustling Dog. That's New H Man. Hey, New H Man. Thank you for being in the chat. How dare you, JL? JL is just he just likes to call it Chaos. We're gonna call you Chaos J. That's your new name. J Chaos. That's your new name. There was a Tiffany Stratton Fallon Henley match, but before we get to that, Joe Gacy, he had a moment to talk about. He had a moment. He has a vignette promo. He talks about how he likes pain and suffering. So I didn't know what I was watching at first when he said that. I said I feel very uncomfortable.
Jeez, he's making it sound like he's the Leviathan and Hellraiser. I mean, Chopper was just like that last week. I guess he's trying to be that now.
Was he? Did he speak last week? I didn't see him last week. Did
no, Jacy dressed like Pinhead.
Oh, okay, right.
The Leviathan.
And she honestly killed that look. She really did. He said he made some mistakes. Said he's human. He's not asking forgiveness, and he has darkness in him, and he's no longer have strings attached. It was hard to keep up with all this stuff, so bear with me. All I know is that
basically he's saying he's by himself now,
which is probably for the best because there's no more dyad, and he freed Ava. Do you see Ava? Someone I think wrote in the chat yesterday for the Mike Knox show. Shout out to Mike Knox. Do you see Ava joining the Bloodline?
If she is, she'll probably join Paul Heyman outside because she still needs more training with her wrestling. She's still too green.
Yeah, I think she could use some time in NXT, and there's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, I mean, you could harness your character, your in-ring work. There's a lot of stuff that she could use work on. I think if she's in the Bloodline, they could, like if you're in a group, you could be protected because they could hide her from certain things that she's not ready for. But I think staying in NXT is the right move. Tiffany Stratton, she went against Fallon Henley. Let me tell you something, brother.
Against Fallon Henley, there was no going against Fallon Henley. She just attacked her, wrapped her leg around the ring post, and then.
Can I tell you why I enjoyed that? Can I take the floor?
So go ahead.
No, but I have manners. I was taught by my parents about having manners. That's why I asked, can I take the floor?
Go ahead.
This was fantastic. This was a shout out to Bret the Hitman Hart. Bret Hart back in the day, back in the 90s when he wanted to kick some serious ass. Axe Stone Cold, Axe Juventud Guerrero, which actually kind of hurt my feelings. But Juventud Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Booker T, Goldberg. He used to, you know what he used to do? Rock, before he was The Rock, Rocky Maivia. He used to, when he would beat ass and whatnot, it's called the figure 4 post ring post lock. And I thought this was great. Tiffany has won me over. I wasn't really sold on Tiffany. I think Tiffany, she has the look and all that stuff. But when I saw this, I immediately, can I mimic real quick? Last week I was out there for NXT. And I saw Jade Cargill walk by us. I walked in the NXT parking lot. I don't have no bruises on me. I am safe. But can I show you what the executive consultant did when he walked by Jade Cargill? Hold on.
You would.
Yeah, he did. He
for some reason, people worship that woman like if she were a goddess, worshiping the ground.
She is a goddess. Oh, yeah.
She might look like one, but she can't wrestle.
Jade Cargill is fantastic. I feel like
talking about they could protect David Reyna if she goes into the main roster. When Jade was in AEW, they did the opposite effect on her.
Jade Cargill is great. Her big toe is probably stronger than everybody in the fucking chat. Like, she's fantastic. I don't mean to cuss a lot. I apologize. What's that? My second F-bomb? I apologize. But I sit here and say Jade Cargill.
Halloween, you're forgiven.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's fantastic. But no, she's great. But it was so great walking by. Matter of fact, she said to breast milk when we walked by, because I was with both him and EC, and breast milk, his voice. He says hi, and she said, "Hey, son," and I said, "That's so cool." But Tiffany Stratton, she She takes out Fallon Henley, and honestly, not for nothing, I can't sit here. I can't blame her. And honestly, what's Vic's wife's name? Mackenzie. Mackenzie thought she was so clever. She sat there in front of Tiffany and said, "Well, not for nothing, Fallon Henley, she did a great job being you."
She said the internet said that she did a spot on impression, and Tiffany was just like, "I've had it." I hadn't seen her look this pissed off since dealing with Wendy Chu.
Honestly, if I'm Mackenzie, I would watch my back, because this Tiffany Stratton, who's doing finger four leg locks on the ring post, I'm sorry. I mean, listen, I saw Vic in person. He seemed like a nice guy. I'm not gonna lie. My blood pressure went kind of through the roof on last week. I don't know why. I just started sweating and getting mad.
Well, I don't get why either. You don't really hear them when you're over there, so you won't be hearing what they're saying.
You know, it doesn't matter. He was in the same area as me, and I felt like you know what I said when I saw him? I said, "Why is he here?"
Because it's his job.
That doesn't matter. You could have just like. No one wants to hear me rant. We talked about Joe Jacy, Dirty Dom. He battled Nathan Frazier. He defended his North American Championship. I'm laughing because this one little note I have on the side. You know, real quick, because you know we're running through this show, but it's been a while since we gotten through this chat. Let's get into the chat real quick, right? Wrestling Dog. Let's see what we got. We got Ava Reigns talking to Paul Heyman, and it looked like it might happen. Jack, I knew you enjoyed it. Talking about Tiffany Stratton hitting the figure four on the ring post. I did. Tiffany is great at matches. Someone is very bitter.
What match? I didn't see a match from Tiffany tonight, so
Tiffany Stratton didn't want to have a match. Jeffrey's laughing. I'm not sold on Tiffany Stratton, but Fallon Henley as Tiffany Stratton was awesome. No, she nailed it. A lot of people were even saying they didn't know that Fallon had that in her. You know, and I think that stemmed from not really having an opportunity to show because what was her character, right? She's a cowgirl, right? But
she was more of a Southern girl at heart kind of thing.
That's actually a better description. That's a better description when you said a Southern girl. But also some people were just even saying, because there was that when God, what was the guy who was with not Kelani? I'm sorry, there's so many names. It's hard to remember all these. James, he was rocking with James.
Jensen.
That guy. A lot of people were just saying, "Oh, she just seemed like jealous of him or something like that." Like no one could really define her character. So for her to have an opportunity to mimic Tiffany, she did a great job, and it showed, because a lot of people were sitting here saying, like, "Wow, I didn't know that." JL said he was agreeing. Oh God, this chat is moving too fast. Slow down, guys. Tiffany didn't want to have a man. He was saying that I missed it, but I think he was saying he was agreeing with you. Is the point. Jade is something else. Jade hadn't done anything yet. Overhyped WWE fangirls and boys. But look how WWE has presented her.
Well, as long as they can make her less one-dimensional, maybe I'll have some interest in her. That's all I'm gonna say.
And I think they'll do a great job. I just think she needs reps. I think she has the opportunity to do it, because she already got the presence down pat. I think the character she's already down pat. It's really the in-ring stuff, and the in-ring stuff come as time goes.
What I mean. They just have her consistently winning and no losing. I can't get behind that.
Wait a minute, George. Vic Joseph slander. My goodness. I'm sorry. Are you friends with Vic Joseph? Does this bother you? What I say? Does it bother you?
The better question would be like, how long has George been watching you on here and not realized how much you say stuff about Vic Joseph?
George, I don't want to do this to you. Matter of fact, I won't do this to you. But if you do this again, you're gonna have to be on the list. I'm glad that you chuckled.
Underneath that makes up for it, because it's true. Wesley, the greatest North American champion of all time, and he's back. And I saw him at a show over about I would say close to a month ago, and I got a picture, and I'm so happy.
I bet you was. Listen, it was great.
I went up to his face. I asked for a picture, and I told him that he was the greatest North American champion ever. And I asked him, when is he coming back?
And what did he say?
He was like, I don't know. I'm enjoying the time. I'm like, well, we need it. We need to see you back. We need to see you with some gold.
You know, it was great to see him. I mean, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but it is great to see Wesley back. Matter of fact, for the
gonna take that title off of Dom and
it's
hold him
looking.
have it longer than 9 days.
It's
Why they did that to Jay and Cody, I will never understand.
oh, you're talking about for the tag team titles?
Yes, it made no sense.
My personal is this?
If
Are
they
you
have it
serious?
for like a month or two, then I would
Mike,
have
are you
gotten
serious?
Jimmy interfering, but
Are you,
only not even
are
2 weeks. I don't like when WWE does these super short reigns for no reason.
I
Feel like
believe that.
trying to move the
I believe.
storyline along. Y'all have done this whole bloodline storyline for 4 years now. We can wait 2 months until they have dropped those belts.
I believe what they tried to do for that story. And I remember talking to a friend of mine, and I
If
said,
they were trying to push the whole Jimmy versus Jay thing. Congratulations, y'all did it.
no, what they were doing. So now, not for nothing, the brand split don't really feel like a brand split because people are really just going between Raw and
They're
SmackDown.
going
But what they
everywhere
wanted to
because
do,
the belts are unified, every single one of them practically.
no, just the tag titles and
That's what I mean.
and you can and the women tag titles could float, right? So
Yes,
what they
like
wanted to
they
do,
united NXT and the women's tag titles, which made no
right?
sense to me.
What they wanted to do was get that visual of Cody and Roman. That's what they wanted to do, and that's what they did. And they come like I have this conversation with people, and they're like, "Oh, it's not Cody against Roman." No, that's the match that's
It
happening
is the
next year
match.
for Mania. That is the match, and that's going to be a thing. And you know, people are crying about like, "Oh no, I don't want that to happen."
Cody's
It's
gonna finish
happening.
the story.
He's going to finish the story. They had the vision. When you had them on the same show and they're staring at each other, and Roman saying, "This is my show." They were pretty much telling you this is what's happening next year. So if you guys don't like it, if I can quote Bret the Hitman Hart, tough shit. I'm sorry, is that my third curse? Yeah, I am I probably should have gave a warning. If children are watching this, please don't watch this, kids. But we had Dirty Dom against Nathan.
Worse now, so
I saw who's in the chat. Jordon, that was a terrible laugh. Let me do it again.
I love how he came out just as we were talking about that.
He heard his tribal chief was acknowledged, and he in the chat. I know Rob, and I respect.
He heard me saying that the tribal chief was going to get dethroned by Cody Rhodes, and his spidey senses were like, "Gotta stop it! Gotta stop it! It ain't gonna happen."
We had Dirty Dom against Nathan Frazier. One of my notes that I wrote is Nathan Frazier seemed like he gets faster every time I see him.
Because
I'm sorry, what?
He's like Sonic. He's really fast. Before you kill me, okay, there are wrestlers that are really fast, and that's what Nathan Frazier reminds me of in that sense.
Whoa. First off, Bobby Bella, how dare you think that? Listen, I have a lot of respect for you. I think that I see what you meant, but you know why I'm offended by this?
Because they compared him to Sonic.
Sonic the Hedgehog would dominate Nathan Frazier in the race. Nathan Frazier's kind of fast. It's cute, but Sonic is just very fast. And when I heard this,
I grew up watching the cartoon.
You just won me over. You know what? Rant done. Good job. Which Sonic was it? I need to know. Sonic. Oh my.
I broke him, ladies and gentlemen. I broke him.
I'm sorry. I knocked my headset off. That was terrible. Sonic X was fantastic. I could sit here. We need to review that. We're going to get this nerd show off the ground. But Sonic X was great. I love the theme song. I used to do. What did Jeffrey say? Speedy Gonzalez says, Jeffrey, how dare you? Did you just say a mouse? This rodent, this Florida street rat could beat Sonic in a race? How? Oh, someone give me a pen right now. Oh, my goodness. Rushing the, wow.
Look what George said in the chat. Wow. Look what George said in the chat.
Wow. What did he say? What did George say?
Sonic the Hedgehog turns into Super Sonic and burns Nathan Frazier in the dust.
George, you beautiful man. You are beautiful, George. George, give yourself 25 points. Take away like let me think of a number. Let's see, 80 times. Take away 8,000 points away from Jeffrey because he's rude.
But we did have a fairly good match between Nathan Frazier and, unfortunately, the still North American champion in Dominic Mysterio. It was just nice that he actually won clean this time.
This was good. I mean, Nathan Frazier, I'm glad that he's all seriousness. I'm glad that Nathan Frazier is getting some TV time. And I don't know. I think a small part of me thought Nathan Frazier might beat Dom, especially with the story.
Because of the fact that commentary kept saying that he had bad luck in the first Halloween Havoc when he went in for that 5-man ladder match for the North American Championship.
Yep.
Which, if y'all remember our reviews from last year, he picked Nathan Frazier to win. Nathan was my second pick.
You picked Wesley.
Being the now greatest North American champion.
You did. I gotta give you credit for that. That was a really great pick. I didn't think that with Wesley, and that was one of those things where, like, when I get a pick wrong, I'm like, I'm glad that I was wrong. Especially the run you look at that he had. George is great. The run that he got. I did want to say this real quick. I'm sorry because I went through a whole bunch of rants here, right? Because it's just a chat here, right? Vic said when Booker T said because Dom, let's talk about the costume, right? He's handcuffed. He has like the jail print suit, right? And Booker T said, yeah, he served hard times. He did some hard times. What have you ever done, right? And Vic said, well, I was in detention. I said, Vic, I cannot stand you, but I did chuckle on that. Good job. Good job on George. He took away points. We got Christopher Harris. I don't know who that is, but he said the greatest North American champion in history.
Yes,
George,
Wesley.
get out. Good job there, Wrestling Dog. Wesley, the greatest NXT North American champion of all time. Period. End of story. Slow night. So JL is Canadian. You heard that?
Apparently he is.
I'm Canadian too, and I've never seen you a day in my life. Wesley can't hold the jock straps of Leon. Honestly, I mean, I don't want to get too.
He just wants to say things to rile us up and get mad.
No, I love Leon Ruff, but I'm gonna not hold you. Leon Ruff, I think my pinky has weighs more than him, so I think he could, and I don't think he wants to. I hope that Dominic Mysterio didn't drop the. Oh my God, I hope not either. That's terrible.
I mean, like Vic said, the only time he enjoys being handcuffed is by mommy. That's the only person he probably could have dropped the soap around and been fine.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't. Vic said this, right?
Yes, Vic said it, not Booker. Vic.
Do you see why I get on Vic?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make it clear that it's just because I'm not. I see you. It got a little too hot in there. You said you take the hat off. I should. You know what? Where's my hat?
I'm wearing a hat and a wig in my room. So.
Oh, I actually thought that was your hair.
No, I wish.
No, it looks good on you. Fantastic.
Yeah,
you know what?
When I do my hair.
You know what? I'm gonna get my. I should get my Nikki Bella hat because I have well, it's not Nikki Bella, but I have a cap. I should wear it, but then my hair will get all fizzy. But Dirty Dom retains. We get the return of Wesley, and it looks like so. What I believe is that is a match,
and he will get back his belt and be a two-time NXT.
But what do you think? Do you think we get on a regular NXT show, or do we get that at Deadline?
Most likely, probably a Deadline. Wouldn't surprise me if they do it randomly. If they do it on a regular, they'll most likely bring in everybody. But if JD comes, he'll probably try to help and screw up like he has been these past few times.
I think
dang, he screwed up when they were having that championship title for the tag belts, and we had new champions for 9 days.
Right, but I feel like when Dom drops it, he's gonna drop it. Like he's not winning it back.
Oh, I hope.
I don't think. I think honestly, the fact that Dom has held the title for this long, how long is it? It's been.
Again, he's held it most of the time because he's had help.
No, absolutely. But how long has Dirty Dom has held this title? Like 2 months, right?
I'm looking that up right the F now.
There we go. See,
I don't know.
We got
it has been too long.
We got Jeffrey in the chat that Vic is great. I just think you want to spike me, rhymer. I hope I'm saying your last name right because I say people's last names. JL Party City. I went to Party City. I got a Luigi costume, and they gave him a gut. So Party City is
You
idiots.
gotta be kidding me. This boy's only held this belt for almost a month.
Really?
It's only been 28 days. It's been 28 days too long then.
No way. Really?
He won it on October 3rd.
Was that this? Yeah.
This year. When Trick Williams got it.
Oh, I kind of forgot about that period where, right, he dropped it. I honestly forgot that because Christopher Harris in the chat saying 2-time, Image being a Vic fan. Don't get the wrestling doll started because you won't win. Next match, if we can even call this.
Reign was apparently 101 to 102 days.
What, all together?
No, the first. Let me see.
Oh, you said the first time.
Yeah,
okay.
Combined, it's 101.
Dalmatians?
101 Dalmatian days worth of Dominic Mysterio being champion, unfortunately for us.
The next match we had the fantastic Robert Stone. Robert Stone going against Braun Breaker. This match didn't go. JL, I know right now JL is right now just sitting there just like, yeah.
He's just trying to come up for things to write to get me riled up, but I'm not paying attention to any of it.
And as you shouldn't. This match really went, I want to say 3 minutes. Braun.
I was watching Jungle Boy versus Christian at All Outs all over again.
Oh my god!
Because it was real short.
Oh, okay. No, because I did not see that match. So I was kind of like, wait.
Well, I watched the All Out pay-per-view and I did a review with Mike and Dice Man. So
fantastic.
I mean, I watched that back from the little discussion they were having about shoes and sunglasses and such, which was very funny.
Shoes and sunglasses?
It became a thing. It was funny. I died laughing.
I'm chuckling right now. But yeah,
we had a brief little match between Robert Stone and Braun Breaker, which I honestly knew that was the way that it was going to go. I had a feeling it was going to be a squash match, and I knew that Braun was going to return. I was just waiting for when.
You know what I thought?
He was able to extract his revenge, but then we wouldn't be able to get Braun versus Vaughn next week.
Is that for next week? Because I didn't even see that. I know they mentioned a few of them. It is?
Yes, it's for next week, just like Tozawa versus Noam Dar for the Heritage Cup.
We didn't even talk about that, but we'll squeeze that in. But Robert Stone, yeah, he loses to Braun Breaker. I don't even think my man's got any offense. But shout out to Robert Stone because he's still in some really good shape. Back in the day,
I would say if you were to find his indie stuff, then he does have moves. It's just he has to act like.
No, I know. I used to watch him on Impact back in the day. I remember him as Bobby E.
Probably hadn't watched him on
right,
anything.
but I was gonna mention because he was still in some really good shape, and he's always wearing a suit and shirt and all that stuff. So I was impressed. But yeah, like you mentioned, he does have moves, but Braun just didn't. I don't know if he got a move.
Like dealing with any moves, so he just tried to destroy him and squash him. Like The Rock did to Eric Rowan in 6 seconds at WrestleMania at one point.
We got yeah, I remember that. Jeffrey said he was upset that he can come in the Monster Mask. We got JL Braun Breaker versus Mr. Stone was a short match. Vaughn got schooled. JL is really happy about this. Vaughn got schooled. I don't think he got schooled. I mean, I think he's already surpassed that. So no, he didn't go to school and then go on lunch and then he was on timeout. No. Braun made Stone frozen like Elsa. This guy's just writing anything. Man, that was
bad.
He even wrote, man, that was a bad line. Shout out to him because he at least admit that. So shout out. Robert was in, I remember that. He was in TNA. Matter of fact, he was in a tag team with the other Robbie. I forgot. I think it was Robbie T or something. He was the big, jacked up British fella. Matter of fact, he used to be in that group. It was like a circus group in like 2014 or something. I forget the name of it. Von Wagner beats Braun Breaker. I do see Von Wagner I do see that happening. I honestly thought that Robert Stone would he would beat Braun by shenanigans.
I thought he was going to get an upset win when he had him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. He had me like this too, but I honestly thought during the match that Vaughn would come out. You hear the music, Braun is, but
me
shout
too.
out,
I was waiting for him to come out during the match, not after.
right? But you know what? Good on them to do that because Braun shouldn't be losing. Like I'll sit here and BJL for a minute. Braun shouldn't be losing. He shouldn't lose to Robert Stone. I thought that was the
And
direction that
unless
they were
they
going
were
to.
destroying him with things that weren't legal during the match, then it would end in disqualification. That way he doesn't look bad.
Oh, you're talking about if Robert Stone just went for a disqualification finish?
No, if Braun went to grab
Oh,
something, grab the stairs, and try to hit him with it and get
but
himself
you know,
disqualified.
but you know what though with Stone, here's the thing with Stone. Like Stone, he's not an active wrestler, right? So him losing to Braun doesn't hurt. Braun is, I mean, look at Braun, right? Uh, and beating him in within seconds like that. Uh, like how we were saying earlier, Von Wagner comes out. He has the rag over his head,
He has the
and
bandages wrapped around his head.
he's getting ready to use the steps to smash Braun. So he was trying to smash Braun on TV. I mean, smash Braun's head on
On my
TV.
television.
Yes, he was trying to smash Braun's head.
He was trying to exact revenge, but Braun had some strength left and moved out of the way.
You know, I see Jay on the chat. He says Braun. I don't think he's taken that many L's, but he's taken a lot. He's been taking some L's.
Listen, whatever number of losses Braun's taken is too much for this man because if Braun gets any more losses, he's going to explode. He's going to run away. He's going to have a panic attack. He's going to have a tantrum. He's going to freak out. He will be like the kid that had a tantrum on a video online, ran in the closet, jumped in under the sheets, did some crazy stuff. That's what JL's going to do if Braun loses. And he's saying that Braun losing would kill any hope for the future WWE.
Oh no. No, he's gonna be
Big
fine.
stars now have lost plenty times before. John Cena.
Yeah, I mean, with John Cena now though is different because he's so established and whatnot.
I
I
know,
get.
that's my point. And
And
he started out losing like
he did.
anybody else.
He
That's
did. Yeah. Okay. No, I understand now. But yeah, Braun's gonna be fine when they call him up to the main roster. They're gonna probably I don't want to say push him to the moon, but they're gonna protect him and when they find the opportunity, they're gonna put a title around him. I see Braun in good hands when he's on the main roster. To be quite honest, it's amazing that if like I don't just want him to be called up just to be called up. I want it where we have a spot for you and this is gonna be a great position for you. But it's surprising that he's still in NXT because he's done everything. But if anything, I could see Vaughn being his last feud. I could see Vaughn being that and Vaughn overcoming the bully and getting the W and sending Braun to the main roster. So yeah, Braun's gonna be fine. Is the point? Like he's gonna be fine. You don't have to worry, JL. You don't have to start punching mirrors and I don't know.
You don't have to be too upset if you can't see him on Tuesdays. If he gets called up, you can see him on Mondays.
There was something
they go on for an hour longer, so you'll have more of a chance to see him.
JL is fantastic. I just want to sit here and say JL. He's saying stuff. He put that Braun should dethrone our tribal chief, and I sit here and say I don't know. Absolutely, and I would sit here and say I don't know what substance you're into, but
there's
stop.
One second generation wrestler that's going to dethrone Roman Reigns by next year, and his name is Cody Rhodes.
Because he has to finish the story. Braun didn't even start the story. But we got also to Jeffrey.
Braun's not even on the prologue of his story for that.
See, Jeffrey said something interesting because he said Braun could, and that was great because I picked what you said. Braun could dethrone Gunther, but I would want Dragunov. I see it still being Chad Gable. I think right now, I mean, it's not a Raw review. We should be having a Raw review on Saturday. But I don't see either one. I know a lot of people Dragunov, and I see why. But it won't be. Bleach Boy had to steal his spot. Who's Bleach Boy? And he also said he broken a mirror. Jesus. This guy is literally 2000 Eminem, guys. This is 2000 Eminem. And if you don't know what that means, look up Eminem in the 2000 because he was angry. We had the next match being the outstanding the incredible Jacy Jane with Thea Hale going against Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Piper and Chelsea defended their women's tag team championship. Earlier in the show, Jacy and Andre Chase was having a conversation. Jacy would say, "Hey, not for nothing, you look really good with those belts." Talking about Andre Chase, I threw up a little bit, and I had to. That's why it took me so long getting here because I had to clean that up because I didn't believe her. But then she said, "Hey, I hoped you win. Now help me win." Andre was like, "Nah, I don't want to do any of that cheating stuff." Yeah, he made Andre noise. I started to tune him out because I like what are you talking about, Chase? Just listen to whatever. But anyway, Thea Hell and Duke Hudson, the fantastic Duke, come out, and good for Duke, right? I mean, look at this guy. He got gold. That's my guy, Big Duke, Big D. And that'll be the last time you ever hear that come out my mouth.
I was about to say we already had that. We already had that being said before with Drew McIntyre calling himself that. We don't need that being used again.
And I'm not even gonna lie. I was getting ready to say I don't know if he's Big D, and I was gonna say I don't know where this this conversation might have gone to a whole nother realm. But we have Duke, right? And right, they come in and Jacy and Thea get ready to change to get ready for their match, but just before the segment ends or this part ends, you have Tony and Stacks. They approach Andre and Duke and Tony. He's not happy on how he lost. I'm sorry, I had to figure out my words here, but Tony was not happy on how he lost, and he said he wanted a rematch, and he said like things like this. Bad things happen to people where things like this happen. To which Andre was like, "Yes, sir." To which Duke was like, "Yes, sir." What are you talking about? But let's get to the match. Jacy Jane and Thea Hale against Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. I'm going to give you the floor. This was a women's tag team match. What did you think about this match, Barbie Bella?
First of all, I enjoyed that Jacy and Thea went after Chelsea and Piper, so that way they couldn't find a way to avoid having the match, period. This is how you attack and still get a match happen, Tiffany. But this match was what was, I would say, women's match of the night for me. Okay. And it definitely showed people who don't really watch Impact like that, now TNA again, just how good Chelsea Green is. Because when Chelsea Green was brought into the main roster, she came in during the Royal Rumble with Robert Stone by her side. She went in and got out the ring the same way that it happened this year. She got in and out the ring. But now people are getting to see more of what Chelsea Green can do. I mean, people already know how good Piper is, despite being mainly known on being on NXT UK. But when she was briefly known as Doudrop, people got to see what she was made of. And this is also how you can be a diva girl and still make your strong partner look good, Eva Marie. But I also want to say, I feel like with these two, I feel like if they got a couple more people in with them, that they can make a faction as strong, if not stronger than Damage Control, with Carmelo coming back whenever she's done, like having time taking care of a baby, and when Sonya Deville's all healed up. I mean, all the people that were supposed to be Chelsea's partners could all come together.
And make a faction. That is interesting. So like have Sonya Deville, Carmella,
Chelsea,
and that's a group. What would the group name be called? Chelsea's Friends?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, unless you want to do it Chelsea and Friends, so, since she still likes to think it's all about her.
Right. Absolutely.
Or I do want to call themselves the Hot Messes, since that's her theme song.
That would actually be a good callback, because that was a gimmick.
And it's still her, and it's her theme song now.
Oh, that's the name of
it. When they came in, I heard the Hot Mess, so they're using that.
You know, the announcer. Oh, we got Good Chris in the chat. He says, "Happy Halloween." Hey, Good Chris. Real quick, I just want to read some of these chats. JL said a lot of his homies are not fans of Doudrop. We got Jeffrey, who says
Doudrop. I only know a Piper Niven.
Yeah, Dewdrop. I don't know what happened to her. I hope all is well. Jeffrey mentions higher ups are high on Chelsea Green. Yeah, Chelsea Green is quite the character. Alba Fire and Eldon are the next challengers for the
Of course they are.
George.
They said they cursed the titles, so they're probably going to try to take those titles. And we're
I
going to have yet another tag team have about under 5 defenses before they lose the titles.
I did want to say real quick. It just shows you the difference between announcers, right? Um, and no shade to the announcer here, but it made me say, my man, I wish Samantha Irvin was here because the way she said Chelsea
Chelsea
Green.
Green.
Yeah, she does such a great
She likes
job.
to
And
put her own spin on things.
oh,
Alicia
she's great.
Taylor has her own way of doing it, so
Oh,
that's
she's great. Matter of fact, when I
it's
was there,
fantastic hearing it in person.
oh yeah, I was gonna say when I was there last week, she was fantastic. She hyped up the crowd, and I heard the people who was singing the song because I actually like this band. It was like 2 songs that they did, but they said that's her band, New Day, right? That's her band, right? Yeah, that's great stuff. This match it did what it had to do. It was trying to advance the story between Chase U and JC Jane and Thea Hell. Um, JC Jane is just fantastic. Like anything she does, I'm just gonna cheer. So like everyone's gonna have to deal with this. But I did listen to a podcast not that long ago, and I just thought I say this because I was one of the people who thought this. So when JC Jane and Gigi first broke up, I said, "Oh, I was kind of concerned about JC, but JC's
That they
been
were
killing
going
this."
to make Gigi the bigger star.
Yeah, and I mean, Gigi gets TV time, but she loses a lot, right? And JC Jane, I mean, she's been getting a lot of TV time, and I got to sit here and say the role that she's been given, she's been doing a fantastic job. So I was one of the people who I was kind of concerned, like,
And
all
now
right,
the people are behind her. It only took about over a year before they fully got behind her without her being the third wheel in Toxic Attraction, essentially. I always said she was my favorite of the three of them because
mhm,
for most parts, I tend to kind of go for the underdog because most people don't
that's
pay
fantastic.
attention too much to them.
Mhm.
But I I noticed things. I noticed small details, and I noticed how good she is in the ring. She wasn't the best compared to all three of them, but she has great in ring work. And tonight, the people were behind her and cheering for Jacy.
No, 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 no,
No, they were
no,
cheering for her, and they were saying her name.
and that is great. But
That's
this
what
is
I'm saying. It's
and this
good
is
because now people are fully seeing just how great she is.
no. I don't like this. You know why I don't like this? Because there's not enough room in the JC Mobile. Like the Vaughn wagon and the JC Mobile, there's only one seat, and that's for me. So everybody else is just gonna have to get a fork and knife and eat some dust. Except you, because you said you liked her before me. But even still, I call shotgun. But it's great to see people get behind her. I'm happy for her. She's getting a lot. She's getting some. She's getting screen time and showing what she can do. Um. Okay, so let's get into this one. We had the finals for the women's breakout tournament. This tournament started out with 8 women, and now it's down to 2. We have. I want to make.
Kelani Jordon
Thank
versus Lola
you.
Rice
Yes.
with
Oh,
Alexa
I'm sorry.
Logan.
That was such a
Dark Eagle.
pause. We got Jeffrey. He says, "Where is this mobile you speak of? It's not for you to see, rhymer."
Is it invisible?
Damn, you can see it.
I don't know. You tell me. Is it invisible like the Justice League's invisible ship?
Well, so okay, cool. I'm gonna. So the Vaughn mobile, it's like gray and it has a door, and the JC mobile, it's white and it's just very this big car. It's like a limo, but then it has lasers. That's what it is. So you can see it, but there's only one seat. Because you might say, well, what about the other seat? It's been taken over by a a turtle tank because we like turtles. And
Okay.
there's three of them, not 4, because we don't want the Ninja Turtles. They're called the Bronx Brawlers. Lola fights against Kiana Jordon. Honestly, I wanted Kiana to win.
I
They
think
went with
a
Lola.
lot of people did too. However, the creative team knows how much the NXT universe, at least the ones that sit in the audience every other week, are behind Lola, and will cheer for Lola regardless of her being a heel.
Oh, they love her. When I was there last week, I mean, I don't
You
want to say it
can
was like
hear
this.
how loud they were for her.
Oh yeah, no, they really was. And Kelani, like, I didn't hear no boos or anything. I think some people were saying like, oh, they were booing her. I didn't personally
I
hear that.
didn't hear any booing.
Sure.
Listen,
And
if it were anybody else, they would have
yeah,
been booing the hell out of whoever she was fighting.
you was
But
telling me.
Kelani is
No, go
the
ahead. I'm sorry.
top 5 baby faces they have in the women's division right now in NXT, so they're not going to boo her. She's higher than Roxanne right now, as far as like popularity wise of baby faceness.
Talking about Jordon, correct?
Yes, I'm talking about Kelani.
Yeah, no, she is. I So boom, I'm trying to figure out. So I know Roxanne won last year. Was there another one? Because I'm trying to figure out the pattern here, right? So last year we had a baby face.
The women's breakout tournament.
This is the second one, right?
Yes.
Thank you. They went with a heel.
Last year, now we had a heel win this year.
We got George. He mentions Lola Vice is not championship material. She's just there to grow. Oh, gyrate for the people. I was going to say, what's that word?
She's not. No, she's not. She's going to show what she has. Mm-hmm. Will she be champion? Not now, but she will eventually.
But even then, you take your time with her. Right. Exactly. Like eventually you can get there, but take time. Because I think the in-ring stuff, you can see the holes where she just needs more reps. And I say reps because when she gets in the ring more, that's when I talk about Jade, if she has more reps, and she could figure out what kind of style, how she want her wrestling, what kind of style she want to have. You could pick that up by having more reps. I think Lola Vice
just be like Sonya Deville and incorporate her previous background.
I think that's what she's trying to do because a lot of her stuff is, I don't want to say MMA, but it's strike based. Like I wouldn't want to take a punch from Lola Vice. You kidding me? She's had that background,
but I wouldn't go against her. That's like I said, that's my Cuban sister.
There we go. I you know what? I'm just not trying to get
the first Cuban woman to be signed into the WWE and the first one to win the breakout tournament.
And she won. I think there's also a story there because she won by shenanigans. She won because of Electra Lopez. Yeah. Kelani went for the split-legged moonsault, miss, and then Lola just hit her with a kick and beat her.
I feel like they should call it like the vice kick or something like that at this point.
The vice kick. I like that. Roxanne won last year. Talking about Jeffrey. Chris, he says men's breakout tournament is next. Absolutely, that is next. Lola has time to grow. I agree with that, Jeffrey. Just take your time with her is my point. So I agree totally with what you say. Lash should win next year's. Talking about JL. I don't think so. I think right now what she's doing is she's doing some great stuff now.
She's having fun.
Yeah. What if cashes
on Lyra next week?
She won't win. And she shouldn't.
No, she won't. She wouldn't win if she were to do that. Plus, that'd be a waste of a cash in. I feel like she should just take her time. Not like Carmelo long, but not like these girls that cash in either the night of or the next day. With the exception of Io, because at least she waited a while.
Okay, so she won, right? This is a cash in. I don't know why, like that. Like when I'm hearing, I'm like,
I mean, that's what Roxanne did. She cashed in, won the.
But she could do what Roxanne did. You don't have to always cash in the middle of a match. Like Carmelo Hayes did that. He cashed in on Swerve after the match.
Right after the match was over, and I would know because I was there when that happened.
Oh, you was there for that one?
Yes, I was there for that one.
Oh,
that was the match that I was like, okay, I actually do like watching Isaiah Swerve in the ring.
Isaiah Swerve. We got Jeffrey. He says Jakara's going to win next time. She was cut from it. Yeah, because she had an injury.
She was cut due to injury.
Yeah, and possibly. Possibly. I haven't seen a whole lot of Jakara Jackson in the ring. I think I've seen a tag match or so with her. So
she's had like 2 or 3 tag matches, and they've all been between Valentina Flores and Yulisa Leon.
Yeah, that's fine. I've heard a lot of stories where they've wrestled each other what 100 times and stuff, and then they've even gotten better because of that. So that's nothing wrong with that. I could see talking about George. He said I could see Lola cash in her breakout contract at deadline and losing. That would seem like a good spot to cash in, and I do see her losing. I don't see her um
Oh,
being
if
the
she
one to take.
loses, that crowd is going to give the
And you know what?
NXT creative hell.
And you know what? Go for it. Go for it, because she's just not ready. Listen, sometimes
That's
you
why
can
she
listen.
waits.
Sometimes you can listen to the crowd, and then sometimes you have to just sit here and go like, no, because not every time
Wait.
this crowd is correct. For God's sake, they booed Roxanne Perez. Like, I'm not listening to you. You can eat you can eat
Like I
warm.
said, they only booed her because Lola Vice lost to her.
Listen, they can eat room temperature meatballs, and meatballs are fantastic. Let's get into this main event. We're already an hour in. Guys, real quick, I feel like I've done such a horrible job here. You're watching Unpopular Review. It's been we're shooting an hour and 5 minutes. If you're watching on Facebook, which is nice, because if you're still there, cool. If you're on YouTube, give us a like, comment, share, talk about us, subscribe if you haven't done that. We're on Twitter, so follow us there too. I think we're on Twitch.
We got Twitch, we got X and Twitter, and as well as Instagram.
And we have Instagram. So yeah, follow all those great things. Fantastic job. Bobby Bella. We got Chris says some facts. I wanted to Roxanne was unsuccessful because of Cora Jade. No. She cashed in. No, that's not true.
No,
she cashed in, she won.
They got what she wanted.
What you're talking about is that was before the cash in, because she did. I think she had a match and she lost, and then she won, and then I forget. Maybe you're right. It's been a while. So I have a lot
talking about that time in
because I remember when she took the title off Mandy. I was surprised.
Everybody was.
Yeah,
but we all know why that was. But Mandy's doing just fine.
Yeah. Yes, she is. She has a podcast now. I listened to a little bit of episode 1. She had Lacey Evans. I don't know her real name, but she was on there. Right, and her husband or fiance was there too. I listened to a little bit of it. So yeah, she's doing quite well with us for herself. So shout out to her. Chris says Cora Jade turned on her. I remember. Listen, what was I saying last year? You can't trust people who wear Vans. So if they wear Vans, don't trust them. And you heard it here from Papa Bad Guy. Let's talk about this main event. We have Carmelo Hayes against Dragunov. Do you pop your head?
Trilogy.
Yes, this was the trilogy. At first I was getting ready to be prepared to say, I don't know if I'm going to like this one as much as the other ones because I didn't know how much time, but they did give him some time. I'm pretty sure 1 and 2 was a little bit better. I got to watch it back. But these guys went out there for the time that they had and Dragunov. Oh, yeah. If you're getting in the ring with Dragunov, you got to be prepared to get your ass kicked. Or you got to be prepared to be really hit. Because I feel like Dragunov really swings for the fences.
It's like getting into the ring with anybody in the Samoan dynasty. You need to be ready because they hit hard and those drops are not pleasant.
Listen, if I get in the ring with a Samoan, I already know if you never headbutt a Samoan because
you never headbutt a Samoan, you never challenge them to a chop off basically, and you never try to outdo them in a Samoan drop.
No, you don't, because they take that shit personally. Umaga used to have a good one. The way he would do it, one of my favorite Samoan drops they would do was that they would throw you in the air and then hit a Samoan drop. Like you really need to be tossed in the air like that. 3-minute warning was quite the tag team. Where we got? Yeah, so this match was good. It was hard hitting.
I enjoyed it a lot.
It was good. It was good.
They said it was another instant classic. I think it was.
George made me have to come out say one of my old catchphrases. I'm glad. This is why I love the Tuesday night show, because you guys know my catchphrases. But like George said, there was a lot of ass juice over the place. There was ass juice. I don't know whose, but there was ass juice, which is nasty. But the spot where Dragunov and he hits the spot where the outside, he's on the apron or something like that. Not apron, but like the barricade, and then he does the H-bomb on Mello through the table. I honestly thought
pushing everything off and even slammed down Vic's candy bowl down into the ground really hard. And I was like, damn, what did that candy bowl do to you, Dragunov? But he tells them immediately to move, like telling them to move, like them even being like this way wasn't enough, like to get completely out of the way. And then he throws him through that table with another H-bomb.
And he does him through an H-bomb. I honestly thought Melo was going to win. It looked like Melo was going to get this dub.
He was going to, but then we got a little bit of that trick out there. And Melo looked exactly like how Candice LeRae looked during the tag match with her and Indy versus Zoe and Io for the belts when Tegan Knox came back. That's what that reminded me of. He looked like he had seen a ghost. Like,
yeah.
Damn.
No, he did.
Oh my God. He attacked Trick and tried to make it look like he didn't.
I wanted to touch on real quick on Jeffrey because this was a really good part that he said. He said, "How's Dragunov not in the hospital after that DDT on the apron?" Yeah, it was like
How were they
like
both not in the hospital after both the spots they did on the apron, nearly killing each other?
Oh yeah, no, when they go out there, they really go out there. Matter of fact, Dragunov have a really good sell.
Their heads didn't look like Julius's back.
Oh, I know we wasn't here for last week, but you talk about lumps. Kiana last week, James, right? You remember that? And she had that big like knot right here.
I heard she got like a big
on her
head and then it broke.
I was there live, and you could really visibly see it. Like that looked gruesome. So yeah, when you say how is Dragunov not in the hospital, Dragunov, I don't know. I just think he's made of antimonium or something like that.
I feel like he's secretly a sadomasochist that enjoys the pain.
Yeah. I don't know any other way to say it, but yeah, I think he just enjoys pain. I think he loves it. But it honestly makes for a great match. I think he brings out the best out of everybody. I've seen people sit here and like this saying, "Oh, look, Dragunov have facial hair again." Did you see facial hair on him?
Yes. A small bit.
Woo! I'm sorry. You know why I laugh at that? Do you see this right here?
Yes.
That's facial hair.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. I just wanted to get my one yell out before I get told I did noise pollution. But this match was good. Trick comes out. He distracts Melo. Dragunov take advantage of this because he's a cheater. And he gets the one. He hits him with the Mascar headbutt or something like that. I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing that wrong, but he headbutts this guy. Melo takes gets pinned. Trick watches as his boy gets pinned. And then as Dragunov wins, he does this, He doesn't
really do that much anymore. But as he's leaving, we get Trick climbing up to the ring. He gets on. Melo's looking at him like, oh my God. Like, still like struggling to get up. And Trick gets in there and holds him up. And just as it looks like he's about to whoop his ass, like whoop that Trick in front of him, the camera cuts to Baron Corbin attacking Dragunov because he's a pain in the ass, jobber ass, who can't handle when he doesn't get what he wants or when he can't get the attention or when he can't get a title shot. Which even if he tries to go after Dragunov's going to whoop that ass.
I honestly like that. And what I like about that is that it's that to be continued. So I really, when they did that and then they go off to, it was like so much was going on in that little segment. So because you see Trick and Melo staring at each other and you're like, oh boy, are they really going to go this route? I wrote, please don't do this. Because I'm sorry guys. I know it's happening. I'm just not ready for this. But they stared down, like my co-host said, they stare each other down and it looked like Baron wants another shot at that championship. And great. He should want another shot at that. He lost and now he's just going to go back of the line? No. So I like it. I like Baron. I like what they did here. And it was a fun show. And we want to say thank you guys for joining us. We'll see real quick. We got Kiana had a knot on her head. I know Shay's seen those facial hair, but it's barely facial hair. Like this is facial hair. Like you see this right here? That's facial hair. Trick Williams has that.
Is before we finish.
Sure.
The metaphor definitely had fun dressing like the Scooby Gang.
I hate them. See, this ruined it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna.
I would have
No,
preferred if they
no,
were to address
no,
like the Buffy
no,
the Vampire Slayer
no.
Scooby Gang.
Yes,
Personal opinion.
they. Thank you. That was great. I watched one episode of Buffy, and I realized one of the guys.
And I also want to say, I feel like no one should dress like Fred, not Scooby. That's the point.
You know why? Who's Scooby?
The
Who's
dog.
Scooby? Yeah, I know who's
the dog.
You know why Noam was the dog?
Because he has one.
No, because he wanted so Mensa could say my dog. I was proud of that. 5 points for me. But yeah, this segment, and it led to a whole thing, and we didn't even discuss it, but it did lead to.
It led to basically a hunt for the Heritage Cup, which was basically Tazao's way of getting Noam Dar to accept the challenge for the Heritage Cup, which we'll be seeing next week.
I'm laughing because Jeffrey said, "How dare you hate Scooby? Scooby-Doo." I honestly told someone recently why I hate it, but that's neither here nor there. Let's do some plugs real quick. What's it? Jeffrey said, "It's happening. It's happening."
Why you don't like it?
Oh, you want to hear it? Oh, you want to hear my rant on why? So once upon a time when I was a young man, right? See, what you guys don't know these days is you had to deal with TV Guide, right? So you couldn't fast forward nothing. You had to just deal.
I remember those days.
You remember. So I had to sit. Oh, man. Okay, boom. Oh, man. Powerpuff Girls are on. I can't wait to watch that. But you had to sit through a freaking hour of Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo to get to Powerpuff Girls. So I had to suffer. And I had to watch these idiots. These guys who knew that these guys were humans in costumes. I had to see these guys running their stupid attire, especially Fred, because what was that thing around his neck? What was that, a scarf? A mask. Terrible fashion. Hated them all. And I had to deal with this. And then they had a spinoff just to make me even angrier. So when you guys look at me and you go, and everyone, a few, oh my God, Scooby-Doo meets Hollywood. Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo. There was a dog called Scooby-Dum. Why was there a Scooby-Dum? There was just so many of these spinoffs. And they kept going.
Like one or two versions of it, but that's about it.
They kept going. They kept going. They made a movie. And then I knew, what was this band called? I forget what they're called. Simple Plan. And then they were singing. I said, this thing is still going. Oh my God. And they're still going. Right now, there's a Velma show. And the Shaggy's Black. Yeah. So when people ask me, why are you so angry? It's just not because I was born angry. That might be a part of it because I didn't ask to be here. But there's all these spin-offs of Scooby-Doo. There's like a universe of Scooby-Doo. Why are we doing this? So
you sound like me when discussing the Halloween franchise, and now they're making a TV series about it.
Why are we doing this?
I don't know why they're doing that.
Why Halloween? I thought he died. I feel like I've been lied to.
They're gonna say he survived through magic, or somebody saved him inadvertently somehow.
Magic. I wish they just stop lying to me. They didn't survive. He didn't survive through magic. We had a budget.
One of the movies they decided to make, the reason why he's able to survive most of this stuff is because some magical cult or something one another decided to bless him with eternal life, basically.
You know what I want? If you said they're gonna make a
TV series like with Chucky,
they have to get Busta Rhymes to do this. We gotta get the rematch, him and Busta Rhymes, because if you're gonna do this, we might as well go all out. Get Busta Bust. I want to see it, the rematch of the century, because damn it. We got George. He says, "I'm not a fan of Scooby-Doo. I'm with you back." Fist bump right there, buddy. Scooby-Doo Mystery. See, look, there was all that. I was watching Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Good job. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Good job. Digimon was fantastic. I stopped after, I think, season 2 or something like that. Yu-Gi-Oh! And something.
1, 2, and I watched season 4, which was when they could actually become Digimon. And that's it.
Oh, the human. I think I remember you telling me something like that. Wow.
Yeah, people hate on that season, which
was that a good season? Was that a good season?
I enjoyed it.
I might take a look at this. I didn't know that you could turn that. That would be fantastic. We're gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to get this nerd show going. But let's do some plugs real quick, guys. You're watching Unpopular View. We want to say thank you for listening to the
And a
brand.
quick shout out to George for the sorry to cut off, but the comment he was mentioning Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes, he
Stop
mentioned
watching
Yu-Gi-Oh.
after 5 Ds.
We got good Chris. He said, "I love Scooby Doo." Oh, well, yeah, everyone. Not everything's a winner. So shout out to you, good Chris. Scooby Doo's ruined my life. Just like Captain Planet and Bill Goldberg. Let's do these plugs. Mondays, we don't have the pictures and everything. There's a whole change up here, so deal with me, folks. But on Mondays, you can catch the Mike Knox Show at 6 p.m. for the Intelligent Wrestling fan. He's talking about everything about wrestling. He's talking about Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, wrestling news, AEW, you name it. He's there, and he's even doing the Holy Ghost. I saw him do the Holy Ghost yesterday. I thought he was stepping on some ants. You can also come back on Tuesday. We're going to be back here next week. Me and the fantastic, the wonderful wrestling doll. We're going to sit here and talk NXT, and we might rant about something you don't know. Give us a cartoon. We'll rant about
I'll
it.
stick this back on my head and put on my normal hat and look like Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. I don't know if we're having an AEW show, so I'm not sure. But just if you're subscribed to us on YouTube, you'll know. I'm not sure. I know that we are going to be doing a prediction show for Night of is it Night of No, Crown Jewel. I'm sorry. We're gonna have a prediction show. I'm just
we
not
already
sure.
had a prediction show for Night of Champions. If anybody wants to rewatch that and watch us yell at each other, then go ahead.
Ooh, you totally tune into that and watch that back. Watch us on the archives because those are some fun episodes. So, and we should be having. I'm not sure because Crown Jewel is on Saturday. We usually have a Raw and SmackDown review. Is me and the executive consultant. So
it's happening in the afternoon. So if you all do that show in the morning, then you might be able to catch it. If not, then save do a review of it on Sunday or something.
There we go. And I'm pretty sure we will have a review show maybe that Sunday about Crown Jewel. But real quick, let's go in the chat. We got George that Digimon was my favorite. George is a man of taste because I agree with that. Looney Tunes is fantastic. I spent a lot of nights just watching Looney Tunes. We got Tiny Toon Adventures. I totally agree with that, George. Sky Blue is going to join the House of Black soon. Ooh, that's interesting. I think someone mentioned that to me. I don't watch.
Julia Hart did throw the mist in Sky Blue and Willow Nightingale's face, which I do not get considering the fact that they were both two of the most over baby faces in AEW. Unless they wanted to transition, do something different, then
I wouldn't want for Willow to.
No,
I mean, maybe she can be. Yeah, I just can't see it. Maybe she can.
I love Sky Blue too. I got to see her wrestle live in person. I don't want her to be evil.
I don't want it to be evil. We got George is saying it's going to be in his hometown of Louisville, Kentucky, so you should go. I agree with George. But then we had a request. Jeffrey says, could you do the Nikki Bella entrance?
I already put up a clip of me doing that at a wrestling show that I went to this Sunday. So find it there on my Instagram.
Find it on her Instagram. I think that's all the plugs, but please, I mean, we got stuff that we have outside of Unpopular Review, but please, and the link is there, but please tell where they can see you, because you said your Instagram, but you have a whole YouTube channel.
Yes, I have a whole YouTube channel. It is called The Unofficial Camera Woman. I go around Central Florida and I record wrestling matches, and I put them up on the internet, and I put out matches that I saw this past weekend. And right now we are at that 926 subscriber mark.
Woo!
I'm 74 away from that 1K, and I'm so happy.
Please, if you haven't subscribed to her,
go ahead, check it out, find the videos. You can also find the playlist that I made of every episode that I've been on UPR, whether it's been in person or in the comments, because I still count that because I'm still contributing.
There you go. There we go. I have a podcast. It's called the Big Pop Theory Podcast. We didn't have an episode this past Sunday, but we should be back Sunday, do a recording, have an episode by Monday. Thursdays, I'm not on this, but I still plug because it's part of Big Pop. You can catch Shay Sawyer and the fantastic In Cat We Trust, or who I call Mistrust. They do what we're doing right here. We talk about NXT. So if you want to just hear their opinions on it, sometimes I'm in the chat just to annoy people. So yeah, give that a check out. And also too, this Saturday, right after Crown Jewel, I got some friends of mine, and I said, hey guys, y'all want to talk wrestle with me? And they said, yeah. So we should be going on maybe 10, 15 minutes after Crown Jewel goes off. So we'll be going live on YouTube if you just want to see what's going on there. We're hoping to have some more content going on. I was talking to a few friends. I was like, hey, why don't we review some of these old things? Thank you for that, Jeffrey. Thank you so much. Because we just try to make it a fun thing. We're just literally talking wrestling. It's just a bunch of we just try to have it as a cool vibe. But we're trying to get some content on YouTube. We're trying to talk about some old school stuff. So if there's anything like some old school Impact, some old school WCW or NXT, we're open for it. And we're gonna try to get that going. Bad Guy Jack and Wrestling Doll are the greatest duo of the unpopular review of all time. Period. End of story. Ow! Lord have mercy. Thank you for that. We plan on winning this year. Greatest duo. So we do
got about a month until the award show.
I'm already have my victory speech, so I wrote one down. It goes like this. Of course. Oh, I'm sorry. That's all I got. Don't let EC and Mike Knox see this. Well, Mike Knox wear glasses, so I know he can't see this. And the executive consultant is bald, so he lost vision. So with that all said, that's the Unpopular Review, the NXT edition show. I know you missed us. I know you missed us on this Tuesday. We're going to be back next Tuesday. Wrestling Doll, why don't you just say goodbye to the lovely people?
Bye, everybody. Until next week.
Do we have an outro here? Because they didn't even like... Yo, fuck this. Where's the outro?
Unfortunately, like you said, when the room got taken care of, everything is gone.
This is how they treat us at the NXT show. Next week will be a much cleaner version. There will be no cussing. So we're just going to put this up. Do you see it? Is it up? Okay. Yeah. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. Yay.